So now let's go on to the second part of the tutorial. All right, so now we've just finished up working on the head, and let's see what's next. All right, so now we have a duck. All right, so click. I'm going to come over here, click, drag. I'm going to hold down the Alt Option key, bring it back to the dot, let everything go. Come over here, click, drag, hold down the Option key while still holding down the touchpad, bring this back to center and release everything. Come down here, you want to have a slight curve again, so click, drag, hold down the Alt Option key, bring it back, and release. And again, just as a reminder, Alt on a PC, Option on a Mac. So when you hear me say Alt Option, it's one is for PC, the other one is for the Mac. All right, so I'm coming back over here and I'm just going to click because these are straight areas. Click straight, and then now we have a curve. So I'm going to click and drag. See if I can get this to fit. It fits. So sometimes what I do is I kind of just play with it. If it fits, I'll stick with it. If it doesn't, then I know that I need to come back and use a handle. Let me undo this really quickly. And if the radius was really sharp, then I would probably do something like this. But I want to try and do this with as few marks as possible. So I'm going to undo that. Command or Control Z is a way for you to step backwards. So I'm doing that twice. All right, so Control on a PC, Command on a Mac. All right, so now I'm going to click drag. And again, you're playing with the handles to kind of figure out where your curve is. And once you get your curve, I'm going to hold down, as I'm still holding down the trackpad, hold down the Option key, bring this back, release. I'm going to come over here and let's see what happens if I pull on this. Okay, so I have a nice curve. I'm going to let go. Now, let's see what happens if I can do this. Pull on the line just a little bit. As you see, it's kind of, it's not straight. It's following the line, the motion of the head. And let go. And there you go. I finished it. So the next stage, now we're going to do the hat. And again, I'm trying to go over each step and my buttons, things that I'm pushing, etc. So you guys can kind of follow along and hopefully not get too lost. But the best thing about video is you can go back and rewind it to watch it again if you get confused. All right, so we're going to go where the dot is blinking. So click that. We're going to go stick with a straight line. Now with this, we're going to come over here because this part's going to be straight, but this side is curved. So we're going to pull the handle, make sure we're within that line, hold down the Alt Option key, bring it back, and let go. So what happened is it didn't stay all the way in because, as you see, when I pulled this over, it went outside of the space. So that means I have to undo it. So Command or Control Z. I'm going to come back over here, go out a little bit further. Then let's try this again. Click, drag. Now it looks like I'm within the space. Hold down the Option key, bring it back, and release. I'm going to go straight across and try the curve again on this side. So click, drag. Make sure you're holding down everything. And now what I'm going to do is hold the Alt Option key, bring it back, so I'm only using one handle, and then release. Come over here. See if I can do this with one. Click, drag, release. Just click because now the arc is similar on the other side. Click. Says 2 nodes remaining. Let's see if I can do it with one. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, depending on the arc. Looks like I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'm going to come here, kind of pull, and then, whoops, kind of pull a little bit, and then come up and snap. All right, so I'm going to zoom back out again, go to the next stage, the S. Okay, so I'm probably going to make some mistakes on this one, but just to show you where we're at. So click. This one looks like it's got a pretty strong angle. Undo that. Let's see, what will happen if I, nope, too sharp. Okay, undo, click, come over here halfway through, click this. Now to get that curve, I'm going to hold down the Alt Option key and bring it down just a little bit because that one looked, you know, a lot more, the radius looked a lot tighter. So, oops, let me turn that off. All right, so I'm going to come over here and see what happens if I do this. Up too far. Okay, so come over here. Still too far. So I'm going to come over here. And again, I still make mistakes. That's okay. Everybody does, and that's the cool thing about art is you just learn from your mistakes, right? Okay, so come over here. Click within. Pull this out a little bit. And then hopefully, let's see if I can get this in with just one. Oh, we got it. And so click, drag, and then release. All right, so now we're going to try the next stage. So this one looks a little bit tricky, but what's going to happen is you'll see a pattern here that on how I'm working. So we're going to click the dot. Right about here, we're going to use this, hold it up, and the cool thing is whatever happens on one side, you're going to be able to get the reverse because now instead of pulling up, now I'm going to pull down. Now go straight, come back over here to right in the middle, and this pattern is going to follow the same, right? So click, drag, release, click, click straight, then come over here and click, drag up, release, pull, you know, go down with the pen tool, click, click straight, come over here, click, drag, release, come up, click, click, same thing, click, drag, now pull up, release, click here, oops, click here, and before I move further, I want you to kind of see how these are all lined up. So the curve will match. If I pulled up after I did this, then the curve on this side would be similar to this, but since here I went up and then I went down, you'll get basically the same line, but on opposite sides. So this went up because I went up here, and then this went down because I pulled down after I lined it up. Okay, so now I'm going to click the spot and next stage. Oh, and that's it. All right, guys, well, that's it for this tutorial. If you have any questions, please let me know. And that's it for tonight. Thanks, guys.